When the United States looks north, it does not see neighbors, it sees property. And the question before Albertans today is simple. Do you want to be a people who govern themselves or land administered for someone else's benefit? Hi everyone, today's video is directed at Albertans, Canadians, and yes, at Americans watching as well. Because there is a dangerous idea gaining traction in some circles that Alberta should not only leave Canada but should become the 51st state of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, before you accept that proposition, you deserve to see the evidence. And here is a central claim of the case. When the United States, and particularly Donald Trump, looks at territory, it does not look at the people first. It looks at the land, it looks at resources, it looks at strategic value, and Alberta should not pretend it would be treated any differently. Let's enter Exhibit A into the record. Donald Trump openly attempted to purchase Greenland, not consort, not partner, not collaborate, to purchase. Why? Was it concern for the Greenlandic people, or their culture, or their democratic will? Of course not. It was about Arctic dominance, mineral wealth, and shipping routes. The people were irrelevant. The land was the assets. Alberta must understand this plainly. If Alberta ever came under consideration, it would not be because of our shared values. It would be because of what lies beneath our feet: oil, gas, uranium, water, and agricultural land. And that is the valuation model. Now let us consider Exhibit B, Gaza, Palestine. Even amid mass displacement and devastation, what language has emerged from the powerful US circle? Not primarily humanitarian language, not primarily refugee protection, but real estate language, redevelopments, waterfront potential, Riviera, future projects, and the likes. This is not accidental. It reveals how power thinks under pressure. When land becomes valuable, people become secondary. Albertans should not assume immunity from the logic. Power is consistent, only the geography changes. Some argue the United States will ensure stability. That claim does not withstand scrutiny. The United States ensures its own stability. It ensures its own interests. Any outcome involving Alberta independence, association, annexation would only be entertained after Canadian constitutional law, Supreme Court rulings, First Nations consent, international recognition, and even then Albertans themselves would not be the priority. The priority would be resource security, military positioning, and long-term leverage. That is not hostility. That is history. Let's introduce Exhibit D, Precedent. Puerto Rico. It's been over 100 years under US control. No full voting rights, no statehoods, enduring economic fragility. Guam. Strategically essential, heavily militarized, politically marginalized, US Pacific territories, military bases, resource access, limited sovereignty. The pattern is unmistakable. When the United States acquires territory, it acquires utility, not equals. Albertans should not assume they would be exceptional to a century of evidence. Courts don't just rule on hope, they rule on precedent. Now let us address the final risk. If Canada is destabilized by reckless political experimentation, that instability will not stop at the provincial border. Capital will flee, legal certainty will collapse, social cohesion will fracture, and in the moments of chaos, external powers do not arrive as protectors. They arrive with contracts, conditions, and leverages. That is when land changes hands. This is not an argument against Alberta. This is an argument for Albertans. Independence, if pursued, must be grounded in dignity, consent, and foresight, not illusions of rescue by foreign power. Because when the United States looks north, it does not see neighbors, it sees property. And the question before Albertans today is simple. Do you want to be a people who govern themselves or land administered for someone else's benefit? History has already testified. The evidence is in. Choose carefully. I will see you in the next video.